What's up, Internet Land? Zachamus Prime, aka Zachamus Prime, here with another Transformers review. And today, the figure we're going to be reviewing is the Transformers Earthrise Voyager class Starscream. And Starscream was one of the figures that I was really looking forward to because I used to have a Classics Starscream way back in the day, and I liked it a lot. And this is basically Classic Starscream, but upgraded, upscaled and upgraded, and it's pretty nice. He looks good from all sides. He's not too gappy on the inside, which is pretty decent. A little rectangular, but what can you do? Aside from this big old chunk here, he actually cleans up pretty well in the back. Cleans up fairly well on the legs. All in all, he's pretty decent. In terms of accessories, all he comes with is his null rays. These are nice. They look much more like null rays than the Siege Starscream, which they just look like rifles strapped to his arms. These actually look more appropriate, which is good. A little bit weirded out by the fact that we had like what 7, 8 Voyager class Seekers in Siege, and now they're like, oh yeah, by the way, we know you spent all of your time tracking down that Skywarp, but we're just gonna release them. We're just gonna make new ones that are better for Earthrise. Congratulations. So, anyhow, I think it looks better than the Siege one personally, especially in the vehicle mode. But anyhow, in terms of articulation, his head is on a ball joint. It wiggles back just a little bit, looks down, looks up, rotates freely. His arms will go around until they are blocked by the wing. He's got a bicep. It goes out for the full tree pose, bicep swivel, single joint at the elbow, allows for slightly more than 90 degrees of bend. He's also got a joint here. This is a transformation joint, but I don't know. Maybe you can figure out something to do with it in terms of posability. I'm not your boss. No waist swivel whatsoever. He does have this little skirt armor here that you can flip up for maximum posability there. That far forwards, basically nothing back. Goes out for, gosh, maybe 60% of a Van Dam. Little bit disappointing there, just a little bit. If we can keep his knee pegged together, he bends slightly more than 90 degrees at the knee, which is swanky. He's got a little bit of an elbow tilt, or ankle tilt. What am I saying? Ankle, the foot elbow, right? And a little bit of movement on both his heel and his toe. And that's it for posability on him. So he's got what he needs to stand around and look decent, but he's not going to be throwing out like the craziest of aerobics. He does have your little figure stand port right there on his butthole, which allows you to put him in a flight pose of some sort if you'd like. So that's swanky enough. Another thing that I've noticed that I think is kind of cool, there's a lot of hollow space in there, and a lot of it looks like it's intentionally hollowed out, which is undoubtedly to make space for cone heads. So you can basically count on us getting cone heads later in this line. That, and I think somebody's seen them on the box art already. So, I mean, that is a mild confirmation personally. This is a hard confirmation if you ask me. So let's get him transformed up. First thing you want to do is pull his guns off of him. You want to take and pull on his forearm like so to crack that open. You're going to do this little double joint thing down here. That's going to push his fist out of the way. You want to kind of bring this down and hook this like that and then straighten it up. And that'll be the most effective way to get that guy to go through that. And then close this back. His fist will just go like that. And we'll do the same for the other side. Grab, yank, double joint, straighten, close. Make sure his fist is hanging up like that. You want to take this part here, bring it up over his head. This little tab is going to stick into that cockpit section like that. And then you want to put your thumb about here somewhere and just kind of yank up on these shoulders to disengage that part there. So bring this up and around, and then you're going to bring these arms in like that, and then close this back up. This is going to just kind of fit into that slot there. It will clip into place once you get it in the right place. You want to bring up his skirt armor there, bring down his knee panels. That will allow you to just kind of combine or wars this thing all the way up, and then close that. And again, bring that up and close that. Tab his legs together. Tab both of his legs into his butt flap. You want to close his feet like so. That may bring this wing up automatically or not. This wing is attached to his ankle pivot, so you want to kind of bend this in a little bit, bring this up, and then clip that in right there. Again, with the other side, bring that in a little bit, bring that up, clip it in right there. And then you just take these and fold them down, and they will tab in right like so. Take his no rays, clip them into the wings is the proper place to put them. You can leave his skirt armor up. That gives you another little of this port to plug him onto a figure stand, or you can just put that down like so. And there he is in his vehicle mode, and he's not bad looking actually. He actually looks pretty good looking. Definitely not what I would consider to be a masterpiece style figure in any way, shape, or form. But, you know, I think that he looks decent. I think that he looks great for a mainline figure. Mostly this gray plastic here with some blue plastic, and then he's just got like red paint apps on them to accentuate that. And I think it's pretty decent, to be honest. Sorry, got a yawn. Anyhow, no landing gear to speak of whatsoever, though you do have this little part on his chest and these little parts on his knees are all designed to be in the same plane, so he'll sit there and the center of balance will put him right there. So that's nice. Little bit of cockpit detail in there. You can see a seat, and that's kind of nice. Of course, you can't actually open that, and even if you pop this panel open here, it just reveals Starscream's head. Hello there. So there's the detail on the back. He's got some nice little exhaust holes on his feet. There he is from the front. You can put your finger in there and swoosh him if he stays. Swoosh him around with your one finger if you really want to. Also something that you could do with the Classics one if your finger was smaller. But yeah, of course you can also take this and stick this in his arm here. Maybe stick it in his leg here. Maybe stick it there. There's also... Nope, that's not it. But yeah, I think it looks good. He looks nice. Definitely worth picking up if you're keen on that sort of thing. he looks good with the he scales. I mean, he's the exact same size as the previous Siege Starscream, so he's gonna scale very well with your Decepticon leaders, Megatron, Soundwave, and Shockwave. So he's gonna look great with all of that. I deliberately held off on getting the Siege Starscream because I figured that they'd come out with an Earth mode one, and they did, and I was not disappointed. So my patience paid off. Anyhow, thanks everybody for watching. You guys are fantastic, and stay awesome and be good to each other. See ya.